like I mentioned, the reason I have it, his touchdowns I think will go down. They have to, and I think that Jamaal Williams and AJ Dillon are going to be involved. So. What's up, Packers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Number 20 on the countdown is running back for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Jones. He is our 13th ranked wide receiver. I'm sorry, running back. He's definitely a running back. Last year he finished as running back number 3. Okay, he had 236 carries for 1,084 yards and 16 touchdowns. He also caught 49 passes for 474 yards and 3 more touchdowns. He scored 303.3 fantasy points, an average of 18.8 points per game. So the first thing, was he finally freed? Hashtag Free Aaron Jones has been going around for a couple years. We know that,
Yeah, I never saw it.
We know that people have always liked his talent. He's just, Mike McCarthy up there never really gave him the full reins, and they got Matt Lafleur last year. He let Aaron Jones kind of rule the backfield there with Jamaal Williams just spelling him every now and then. But because of that, he was finally freed. He had a career high in most of his categories, as well as leading the NFL in total touchdowns with 19. 19 total touchdowns, led the NFL last year. But he did have some duds. That's maybe why we have him ranked a little bit lower. He's not that every week stud. He benefited from a few huge games. He finished outside the top 30 running backs in 5 weeks last year.
Damn.
All right, that's a lot, and you don't really want your running back 1 doing that if you're thinking about drafting him there.
True.
How often was he the number 1 overall running back for that week?
I don't know, probably twice, 2 or 3
Probably
times.
about 5 times.
I doubt 5. But yeah, outside the top 30 in 5 weeks, that's kind of a lot for a top running back. And he should have a touchdown regression. Like we said, 19 total touchdowns on only 10.8 touchdown average opportunities. That stat that I brought up last week, that OTD, was only 10.8, and he had 19 touchdowns. Okay, so he benefited a lot from little short rushing touchdowns. He barely had over 1,000 yards rushing. He did catch a lot of passes, though, 49 catches, so he does have some PPR value. But yeah, still be a productive running back, especially on that system with the offense they have. But definitely take a little step back with the amount of touchdowns.
You would think, but I mean, what's changing about their offensive line? Like,
Not the offensive line.
Well, no. But they're the guys who open up the holes. I mean, like, Devontae Adams was hurt most of the year. And I mean, he's going to come back and draw attention. He's not going to be facing a stacked box as much. I saw a stat where he was number 2 in the NFL in stacked boxes. Only Adrian Peterson beat him in that category for yards. And I had him last year, and yes, he did have 4 or 5 games where he put up shit points. I understand. But he had 4 or 5 games where he won me the week single-handedly also.
Yeah, but that was due to those 19 touchdowns that he had.
And one thing in that regard, winning you, yes, he did win you some games, but we always talk about these first picks. Like, you don't want that much
variance.
Yeah. Like, you want somebody that's going to go out every week and dominate. Now, he had an 18-point average, which is great. But when it's, like, huge variance in standard deviation there. Like, you want somebody that's going to go out there and be a stud every week. I just don't know investing. I mean, now he's going probably late in second, middle second. But when he was going that late first, early second, like, I don't know if I want to invest that pick in a guy like Aaron Jones, who's only shown it 1 year.
Okay, but in the fantasy playoffs, he had close to 400 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, and I mean, that pretty much got me second place by just him going off right there.
So he had a really good stretch there. Like, it didn't matter when he did it.
Yeah, you have to make it to the playoffs for that to matter.
No. I understand that, but I'm saying he was coming on towards the end of the year. The last 2 games, he had 23 and 25 carries. Like, this is his show, and he was okay.
Is it though?
Like, hold on, shut up.
We haven't even mentioned the guy they drafted, AJ Dillon, the rookie coming in, who was a stud at Boston College, is going to get some carries.
Boston College?
Yeah, you
heard of it? Who did they play?
The ACC.
Who did they play? Yeah. Okay, well, Clemson.
You ever heard of Clemson?
Let's go. Yeah, I've heard of Clemson.
You ever heard of Matt Ryan? He went to Boston College.
Point.
The Golden Eagles, Brit.
Also, we got, like, you mentioned Jamaal.
Okay,
you mentioned Jamaal Williams, and Jamaal Williams was a factor in the offense last year.
For the
How
beginning
about
of the season, yeah, a little bit.
You started both of them 1 week.
Aaron Jones had a 68% snap percentage. That's not a lot for a running back.
Okay. What's the difference between Aaron Jones? I heard this from Mike Tagliere.
Don't
Fantasy
say
Pros.
Christian
not-
McCaffrey.
What's the difference between him and Alvin Kamara?
Kamara's going to catch more passes.
A little bit, yes, but
Kamara's
Aaron
better.
Jones will get more rushes. No, Kamara is a little bit better, but they're all very productive with their touches, and that's what Aaron Jones is. He is very productive with his touches. 4.6 yards per attempt, 10 yards per reception last year. I mean, yes, he did have 19 touchdowns. That's going to go down, but what does it go down to? 14? I'll still take that. Like, I don't know.
14 is a lot too.
No,
I
but I'm
would-
saying he had 19 last year. You said he's going to regress. So let's take away 5. Let's take away, you know what I'm saying? Like
he'll be
25%.
down. He's not going to score double-digit touchdowns.
That offense just, dude, it revolves around him. I watch
Okay,
it.
whoa.
Revolves around Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, come on.
Does it? Hold
It
on,
should.
Aaron
It
Rodgers-
should.
It should, but I'm saying, hold on.
Look,
Let me look
go
up
cherry
Rodgers'
pick your
stats.
stat
Let's
last
see-
year
let's
where
see
he
what
had
he-
no
what
wide
all
receivers at
around
all.
him.
Devontae Adams was hurt. We know who his second, or actually we don't know who his second wide receiver is. You drafted 2 of them, and they both sucked. Like he doesn't have anybody else to throw to, so I don't go cherry pick me a stat from last year.
Well, no, but I'm just saying he did have 26 touchdowns, 4 picks, but he did not throw the ball one of his most season or the most in a season. And I feel like he finally figured out he does have a running back who's competent. It was like that one year with Eddie Lacy when he went off. Like, I mean, the Packers almost made it to the Super Bowl. Do you really think they're going to change anything from last year?
No, but like Matt said, I think Jamaal Williams is still a factor, and they're going to give AJ Dillon some touches.
A little bit, yeah. Just like Latavius is with Kamara, but you're not downgrading Kamara. Like,
No, but
I
I don't
just-
think Aaron Jones is on the same level as Kamara.
So Saints have one of the best offensive
he was
lines.
better
in the
than him
game.
last year.
He was better than last year. 1 year.
Okay.
We've seen him the other. What did he do the other years?
Kamara was also hurt last year.
I don't.
it
Look, I'm not
reminds me of
taking Aaron
Seattle
Jones in
a
the
little
first
bit.
round, but where you can get him as your RB2,
Like,
come on.
Seattle likes to pound, run the ball more than any other team in the league, and it seems like they don't trust Russell Wilson, who might be one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Green Bay's doing the same thing. They're trying to run the ball when they have Aaron Rodgers behind center. Like, you want to give Aaron Rodgers the most opportunity he can to win the game.
No, but they made it. They were 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Why would they change anything?
Was 1 game away from the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl?
Well, no, but that's better than the Seahawks did.
Well, you proved my point. The Seahawks didn't give Russell Wilson the ball.
Look, I still think they're going to run the ball like they did last year quite a bit. I think Matt mentioned the snap share. They're the guys that are going to be factors.
If you give him Jamaal Williams over 100 carries a game, or not 100 carries a game, that'd be a lot, but 100 carries in the year, then you're going to give AJ Dillon some.
Well, you have to understand, this was Aaron Jones' first year to actually get all the workload, and look what he did, or most of the workload, and look what he did. So, I mean, y'all are basing all this off of his past season where he didn't get the full workload. Like,
I mean, yeah, if Matt Lafleur keeps, because it was his first year to coach, it was a different offensive scheme than Mike McCarthy had, like you mentioned.
yeah,
So
where
if he
LaFleur
does keep giving the ball, then yeah, I could see it a little bit, but
where
I'm not
did
taking
LaFleur
him.
come from?
KC?
No,
No, that was Matt Nagy.
the Titans. And what they do? They pounded it with Derrick Henry.
Don't
I
try
don't
to
know.
compare Aaron Jones to Derrick Henry.
No. But I'm saying coaches have a tendency to rely with or stay with one guy. I'm sorry. So
I bet you
I
Derrick
like-
Henry got more than a 68% snap share.
look, all I know is when the ball was inside the 10, 15-yard line, they were handing it off to Aaron Jones, and he would find a way in no matter what. He had to have been one of the most efficient players from inside like the 10, 15-yard line.
Yeah. And like I mentioned, the reason I have it, his touchdowns I think will go down. They have to. And I think that Jamaal Williams and AJ Dillon are going to be involved. So he has more competition than these other top running backs.
I mean, I'll take Latavius Murray over AJ Dillon and Jamaal Williams.
Okay, but said that there's 2 of them.
And Kamara's going 4.
Agree to disagree.
Well, yeah, go ahead and finish.
All right.
I guess.
Aaron Jones, Britt is just
Britt's biased.
He had him on his team last year and he carried him, so obviously Britt's going to be a little biased.
He got the workload and he had a great year. Y'all are basing this all off of the past 2 years where he didn't get the workload. He doubled his carries last year almost and was very efficient with them. Even the year before, he averaged more yards per carry and had 8 touchdowns at only 133 attempts. Like,
real quick, because
I don't think y'all are understanding how efficient he is with the ball.
I also don't like efficiency. You can play both ways. Will he regress because of that? Maybe. I will say when he was going close to the first.
Everyone hated on him last year.
Let me finish.
Sorry,
because I'm trying to defend you real quick. When he's going close to the first round, I don't like him. But if he starts falling into the second round, then yeah, I think he has some value there.
I agree.
All right, Aaron Jones, our 13th ranked running back, number 20 overall. Yeah.